Hello Tanglers, welcome to my channel. So thanks for joining me on this Tangle Along series where we are going to create a Zentangle mini project together. So for today's project you're going to need a black micron pen or any fine liner pen in black color, a pencil and a blending tool, and a square white Zentangle tile, right? So gather your supplies and let us begin. So I'll start today's tile by making a little string here on the tile, which is the shape of a heart. Alright, so let us begin going something like this with our pen here and making this nice little heart here. Alright. So once you have your string down, let us pick up our pens and get started with our tangle called croissant. Alright, so the tangle croissant is a grid tangle where we are going to start by making a grid, and I'm going to go across this area within the heart and make the grid first. So I'm going to start somewhere over here and make these lines going this way. So, and notice there's quite a gap between two lines, so we need that space to add to the tangle. And I'm going to now turn my tile lightly and draw another set of these lines going perpendicular to these. So once you have your grid down, now we are going to add some elements within each of the grid. So let me start by showing you in one of these squarish shapes here. So what I'm going to do is consider these two corners of the square and make a shape something like a comma going like this. So your comma, the punctuation mark, comma, so an exaggerated one like this. So once you have one of it down, next consider these two corners of the same square, and now I'll start from here, touch this, come over here and make the same shape. So one is going this way and the other one goes this way. Once you have this, now you're going to make little repetitive lines following this curve just like this. So on either side you're going to make that, and once you have that, these corners you're just going to ink it in, and these areas you're just going to follow again this little curvy triangle and add these lines here. You can even leave it plain without adding the lines, so it's up to you. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing again over here so that you can have a look. Again the same way, I'm considering two corners and I will go this way now and this way. So basically this pattern that you have here, you're going to repeat it in all of these squarish shapes that are formed by drawing the grid here. So go one by one, taking your time and slowly filling up all of these areas here, one by one. So these little areas that you have where the grid is not seen entirely, so you just assume that there is, the tangle is going under the string, and you can just continue that way. So going slowly, one area at a time. Adding these nice little comma shapes and then the repetitive lines. Being mindful of where your pen is making a mark on the paper, go one by one, filling up each of the squares that you have here. So take your time and do it at your own pace here. A nice light grip on your pen. Breathing with each stroke of pen that you make. So I'm going to continue filling this entire area with these same little comma shapes and the lines. So you can take your time and work at your own pace, and I will do the same, and I will meet you back here in a minute. So I have my final one here. So here I have all of my little squares of the grid filled with the tangle croissant. Alright. So once I have this, for the outer area, what I'm going to do is, with my pencil here, I'm going to add the tangle printemps or printemps, just the simple spiral going like this. You can make some of them large, some of them small, and in between you can add even tiny little orbs like this. Just slowly going around this whole of the heart shape. I'm going to add a combination of these spirals and orbs. So just take your time and slowly going one area at a time. You can do this with your pen too if you want to. I'm just doing it with my pencil just to add kind of like a very subtle background around this heart, but you are free to do this even with your pen. I just want to keep the focus of the style on this heartstring and make the background very subtle. All right. So now that I have added the tangles on the style, now I'm going to add a little shading to create depth on the style, where I'm going to go around this entire area of the heart and inside these little shapes too. So first let me start just very lightly with this pencil here. I'm just using the color of the graphite and going around this heart shape here. Once I have this in these little shapes, what I'm going to do is at this area and this area where we have filled the lines, and within the comma shapes near the pods like this is what I'm going to do in all of these. So very light hand, I'm just adding little stroke of my pencil wherever I can see those pods, and then on these lines here. You can perhaps choose to do the shading a little bit differently depending on where you want to add the depth. So just just take your time and slowly go around each of these shapes, adding the little mark from your pencil. Once you have added your pencil marks on the entire tile, now you're going to use your blending tool or your paper stump and just lightly work the graphite, forming these nice little gray areas on the tile, so adding more dimension and depth to the tangle here. So go one by one and work all of these color from the graphite onto the fibers of the paper here. I hope you enjoy tangling along with me. So if you liked the tangles and the project that we did today, please do like and share your comments. If you have anything you would like to know or anything you would want to learn in specific, do put your comments and I'll try and make the tutorial. Remember to subscribe so that you won't miss out on any upcoming tutorials here. So now that I have blended all of the graphite inside, I'm going to go around this whole heart shape where we added the graphite, and I'm going to do the same, and just lightly with a very light hand I'm just going to go around this entire area and just blend the pencil mark out. Right, here I have my Tangles, Croissant and Printemps for today's Zentangle Tangle Along mini project. So now it's time to put our initials or our chop and appreciate what you have created. Right? So thank you once again for joining me. Do share your creations and tag me so that I can have a look at all of your lovely creations. Remember to subscribe, and I'll meet you soon with yet another Zentangle mini project in the Tangle Along series. See you. Bye.